Greetings and welcome. Thank you for joining. Welcome to this new place in time. Remember, you're the one. Remember, there is not now, nor has there ever been anything whatsoever in all the universe to fear. Remember, you are the one. God is with us. Listen. Nothing I see means anything. The reason this is so is that I see nothing, and nothing has no meaning. It is necessary that I recognize this, that I may learn to see. What I think I see now is taking the place of vision. I must let it go by realizing it has no meaning, so that vision may take its place. I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I have judged everything I look upon, and it is this and only this that I see. This is not vision. It is merely an illusion of reality because my judgments have been made quite apart from reality. I am willing to recognize the lack of validity in my judgments because I want to see. My judgments have hurt me, and I do not want to see according to them. I do not understand anything that I see. How could I understand what I see when I have judged it amiss? What I see is the projection of my own errors of thought. I do not understand what I see because it is not understandable. There is no sense in trying to understand it, but there is every reason to let it go and make room for what can be seen and understood and loved. I can exchange what I see now for this merely by being willing to do so. Is it not a better choice than the one that I have made? These thoughts do not mean anything. The thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything because I'm trying to think without God. What I call my thoughts are not my real thoughts. My real thoughts are the thoughts I think with God. I am not aware of them because I have made my thoughts to take their place. I am willing to recognize that my thoughts do not mean anything and to let them go. I choose to have them be replaced by what they were intended to replace. My thoughts are meaningless, but all creation lies in the thoughts that I think with God. I am never upset for the reason I think. I'm never upset for the reason I think because I'm constantly trying to justify my thoughts. I am constantly trying to make them true. I make all things my enemies so that my anger is justified and my attacks are warranted. I have not realized how much I have misused everything I see by assigning this role to it. I have done this to defend a thought system that has hurt me and that I no longer want. I am willing to let it go. I am upset because I see what is not there. Reality is never frightening. It is impossible that it could upset me. Reality brings only perfect peace. When I am upset, it is always because I have replaced reality with illusions I made up. The illusions are upsetting because I have given them reality and thus regard reality as an illusion. Nothing in God's creation is affected in any way by this confusion of mine. I am always upset by nothing. I see only the past. As I look about, I condemn the world I look upon. I call this seeing. I hold the past against everyone and everything, making them my enemies. When I have forgiven myself and remembered who I am, I will bless everyone and everything that I see. There will be no past and therefore no enemies, and I will look with love on all that I failed to see before. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see only my own thoughts, and my mind is preoccupied with the past. What then can I see as it is? Let me remember that I look on the past to prevent the present from dawning on my mind. Let me understand that I am trying to use time against God. Let me learn to give the past away, realizing that in so doing, I am giving up nothing. I see nothing as it is now. If I see nothing as it is now, it can truly be said that I see nothing. I can see only what is now. The choice is not whether to see the past or the present. The choice is merely whether to see or not. What I have chosen to see has cost me vision. Now I would choose again that I may see. My thoughts do not mean anything. I have no private thoughts, yet it is only private thoughts of which I am aware. What can these thoughts mean? They do not exist, and so they mean nothing. Yet my mind is part of creation and part of its creator. Would I not rather join the thinking of the universe than to obscure all that is really mine with my pitiful and meaningless private thoughts? My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Since the thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything, the world that pictures them can have no meaning. What is producing this world is insane, and so is what it produces. Reality is not insane, and I have real thoughts as well as insane ones. I can therefore see a real world if I look to my real thoughts as my guide for seeing. I'm upset because I see a meaningless world. Insane thoughts are upsetting. They produce a world in which there is no order anywhere. Only chaos rules a world that represents chaotic thinking, and chaos has no laws. I cannot live in peace in such a world. I am grateful that this world is not real, and that I need not see it at all unless I choose to value it. And I do not choose to value what is totally insane and has no meaning. A meaningless world engenders fear. The totally insane engenders fear because it is completely undependable and offers no grounds for trust. Nothing in madness is dependable. It holds out no safety and no hope. But such a world is not real. I have given it the illusion of reality and have suffered from my belief in it. Now I choose to withdraw this belief and place my trust in reality. In choosing this, I will escape all the effects of the world of fear because I have acknowledged that it does not exist. God did not create a meaningless world. How can a meaningless world exist if God did not create it? He is the source of all meaning, and everything that is real is in his mind. It is in my mind, too, because he created it with me. Why should I continue to suffer from the effects of my own insane thoughts when the perfection of creation is my home? Let me remember the power of my decision and recognize where I really abide. My thoughts are images that I have made. Whatever I see reflects my thoughts. It is my thoughts that tell me where I am and what I am. The fact that I see a world in which there is suffering and loss and death shows me that I am seeing only the representation of my insane thoughts and am not allowing my real thoughts to cast their beneficent light on what I see. Yet God's way is sure. The images I have made cannot prevail against him because it is not my will that they do so. My will is his, and I will place no other gods before him. I have no neutral thoughts. Neutral thoughts are impossible because all thoughts have power. They will either make a false world or lead me to the real one. But thoughts cannot be without effects. As the world I see arises from my thinking errors, so will the real world rise before my eyes as I let my errors be corrected. My thoughts cannot be neither true nor false. They must be one or the other. What I see shows me what they are. I see no neutral things. What I see witnesses to what I think. If I did not think, I would not exist because life is thought. Let me look on the world I see as the representation of my own state of mind. I know that my state of mind can change, and so I also know the world I see can change as well. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. If I have no private thoughts, I cannot see a private world. Even the mad idea of separation had to be shared before it could form the basis of the world I see. Yet that sharing was a sharing of nothing. I can also call upon my real thoughts which share everything with everyone. As my thoughts of separation call to the separation thoughts of others, so my real thoughts awaken the real thoughts in them, and the world my real thoughts show me will dawn on their sight as well as mine. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. I am alone in nothing. Everything I think or say or do teaches all the universe. A son of God cannot think or speak or act in vain. He cannot be alone in anything. It is therefore in my power to change every mind along with mine, for mine is the power of God. I am determined to see. Recognizing the shared nature of my thoughts, I am determined to see. I would look upon the witnesses that show me the thinking of the world has been changed. I would behold the proof that what has been done through me has enabled love to replace fear, laughter to replace tears, and abundance to replace loss. I would look upon the real world and let it teach me that my will and the will of God are one. I am determined to see things differently. What I see now are but signs of disease, disaster, and death. This cannot be what God created for his beloved Son. The very fact that I see such things is proof that I do not understand God. Therefore, I also do not understand his Son. What I see tells me that I do not know who that I am. I am determined to see the witnesses to the truth in me rather than those which show me an illusion of myself. What I see is a form of vengeance. The world I see is hardly the representation of loving thoughts. It is a picture of attack on everything by everything. It is anything but a reflection of the love of God and the love of his Son. It is my own attacked thoughts that give rise to this picture. My loving thoughts will save me from this perception of the world and give me the peace God intended me to have. I can escape from this world by giving up attack thoughts. Herein lies salvation and nowhere else. Without attack thoughts, I could not see a world of attack. As forgiveness allows love to return to my awareness, I will see a world of peace and safety and joy. And it is this I choose to see in place of what I looked on now. I do not perceive my own best interests. How could I recognize my own best interests when I do not know who I am? What I think are my best interests would merely bind me closer to the world of illusion. I am willing to follow the guide God has given me to find out what my own best interests are, recognizing that I cannot perceive them by myself. I do not know what anything is for. To me, the purpose of everything is to prove that my illusions about myself are real. It is for this purpose that I attempt to use everyone and everything. It is for this that I believe the world is for. Therefore, I do not recognize its real purpose. The purpose I have given the world has led to a frightening picture of it. Let me open my mind to the world's real purpose by withdrawing the one I have given it and learning the truth about it. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. How can I know who I am when I see myself as under constant attack? Pain, illness, loss, age, and death seem to threaten me. All of my hopes and wishes and plans appear to be at the mercy of a world that I cannot control. Yet perfect security and complete fulfillment are my inheritance. I have tried to give my inheritance away in exchange for the world that I see, but God has kept my inheritance safe for me. My own real thoughts will teach me what it is. Above all else, I want to see. Recognizing that what I see reflects what I think I am, I realize that vision is my greatest need. The world I see attests to the fearful nature of the self-image I have made. If I would remember who I am, it is essential that I let this vision or image of myself go. As it is replaced by truth, vision will surely be given me. And with this vision, I will look upon the world and on myself with charity and with love. Above all else, I want to see differently. The world I see holds my fearful self-image in place and guarantees its continuance. While I see the world as I see it now, truth cannot enter my awareness. I would let the door behind this world be opened for me that I may look past it to the world that reflects the love of God. God is in everything that I see. Behind every image I have made, the truth remains unchanged. Behind every veil I have drawn across the face of love, its light remains undimmed. Beyond all my insane wishes is my will united with the will of my Father. God is still everywhere and in everything forever. And we who are part of him will yet look past all appearances and recognize the truth beyond them all. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. In my own mind, behind all my insane thoughts of separation and attack, is the knowledge that all is one forever. I have not lost the knowledge of who I am because I've forgotten it. It has been kept for me in the mind of God, who has not left his thoughts. And I, who am among them, am one with them and one with him. I am not the victim of the world that I see. How can I be the victim of a world that can be completely undone if I so choose? My chains are loosened. I can drop them off merely by desiring to do so. The present door is open. I can leave simply by walking out. Nothing holds me in this world. Only my wish to stay keeps me a prisoner. I would give up my insane wishes and walk into the sunlight at last. I have invented the world that I see. I make up the present in which I see myself. All I need do is recognize this, and I am free. I have deluded myself into believing it is possible to imprison the Son of God. I was bitterly mistaken in this belief, which I no longer want. The Son of God must be forever free. He is as God created him, and not what I would make of him. He is where God would have him be, and not where I thought to hold him prisoner. There is another way of looking at the world. Since the purpose of the world is not the one I ascribe to it, there must be another way of looking at it. I see everything upside down, and my thoughts are the opposite of truth. I see the world as a prisoner for God's Son. It must be then that the world is really a place where he can be set free. I would look upon the world as it is and see it as a place where the Son of God finds his freedom. I would see peace instead of this. When I see the world as a place of freedom, I realize that it reflects the laws of God instead of the rules that I make up for it to obey. I will understand that peace, not war, abides in it, and I will perceive that peace also abides in the hearts of all who share this place with me. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. As I share the peace of the world with my brothers, I begin to understand that this peace comes from deep within myself. The world I look upon has taken on the light of my forgiveness and shines forgiveness back at me. In this light, I begin to see what my illusions about myself kept hidden. I begin to understand the holiness of all living things, including myself, and their oneness with me. My holiness envelops everything I see. From my holiness does the perception of the real world come. Having forgiven, I no longer see myself as guilty. I can accept the innocence that is the truth about me. Seen through understanding eyes, the holiness of the world is all I see, for I can picture only the thoughts I hold about myself. My holiness blesses the world. The perception of my holiness does not bless me alone. Everyone and everything I see in its light shares in the joy that it brings to me. There is nothing that is apart from this joy, because there is nothing that does not share my holiness. As I recognize my holiness, so does the holiness of the world shine forth for everyone to see. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. My holiness is unlimited in its power to heal, because it is unlimited in its power to save. What is there to be saved from except illusions? And what are all illusions except false ideas about myself? My holiness undoes them all by asserting the truth about me. In the presence of my holiness, which I share with God himself, all idols will vanish. My holiness is my salvation. Since my holiness saves me from all guilt, recognizing my holiness is recognizing my salvation. It is also recognizing the salvation of the world. Once I have accepted my holiness, nothing can make me afraid. And because I am unafraid, everyone must share in my understanding, which is the gift of God to me and to the world. I am blessed as the Son of God. Herein lies my claim to all good and only good. I am blessed as a son of God. All good things are mine because God intended them for me. I cannot suffer any loss or deprivation or pain because of who I am. My Father supports me, protects me, and directs me in all things. His care for me is infinite and is with me forever. I am eternally blessed as his son. God goes with me wherever I go. How can I be alone when God always goes with me? How can I be doubtful and unsure of myself when perfect certainty abides in him? How can I be disturbed by anything when he rests in me in absolute peace? How can I suffer when love and joy surround me through him? Let me not cherish illusions about myself. I am perfect because God goes with me wherever I go. God is my strength. Vision is his gift. Let me not look to my own eyes to see today. Let me be willing to exchange my pitiful illusions of seeing for the vision that is given by God. Christ's vision is his gift, and he has given it to me. Let me call upon this gift today so that this day may help me to understand eternity. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. I can see what God wants me to see. I cannot see anything else. Beyond his will lies only illusions. It is these I choose when I think I can see apart from him. It is these I choose when I try to see through the body's eyes. Yet the vision of Christ has been given me to replace them. It is through this vision that I choose to see. God is the light in which I see. I cannot see in darkness. God is the only light. Therefore, if I am to see, it must be through him. I have tried to define what seeing is, and I have been wrong. Now it is given me to understand that God is the light in which I see. Let me welcome vision and the happy world that it will show me. God is the mind with which I think. I have no thoughts I do not share with God. I have no thoughts apart from him because I have no mind apart from his. As part of his mind, my thoughts are his, and his thoughts are mine. God is the love in which I forgive. God does not forgive because he has never condemned. The blameless cannot blame, and those who have accepted their innocence see nothing to forgive. Yet forgiveness is the means by which I will recognize my innocence. It is the reflection of God's love on earth. It will bring me near enough to heaven that the love of God can reach down to me and raise me up to him. God is the strength in which I trust. It is not my own strength to which I forgive. It is through the strength of God in me which I am remembering as I forgive. As I begin to see, I recognize his reflection on earth. I forgive all things because I feel the stirring of his strength in me, and I begin to remember the love I chose to forget but which has not forgotten me. There is nothing to fear. How safe the world will look to me when I can see it. It will not look anything like what I imagined I see now. Everyone and everything I see will lean toward me to bless me. I will recognize in everyone my dearest friend. What could there be to fear in a world that I have forgiven and that has forgiven me? God's voice speaks to me all through the day. There is not a moment in which God's voice ceases to call on my forgiveness to save me. There is not a moment in which his voice fails to direct my thoughts, guide my actions, and lead my feet. I am walking steadily on toward truth. There is nowhere else I can go because God's voice is the only voice and the only guide that has been given to his Son. I am sustained by the love of God. As I listen to God's voice, I am sustained by his love. As I open my eyes, his love lights up the world for me to see. As I forgive, his love reminds me that his Son is sinless. And as I look upon the world with the vision he has given me, I remember that I am his Son. Now I welcome the real world that is all around me. I am remembering my real home. I am coming home at last. Greetings and welcome. It's good to see you again. Now, at last, you've reached the inner sacred place in your own mind where it all begins and ends, a place of purity and light where your true self is revealed. I am the light of the world. How holy am I, who have been given the function of lighting up the world. Let me be still before my holiness. In its calm light, let all my conflicts disappear. In its peace, let me remember who I am. Let me not obscure the light of the world in me. Let the light of the world shine through this appearance. This shadow will vanish before the light. Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. It is through accepting my function that I will see the light in me, and in this light will my function stand clear and perfectly unambiguous before my sight. My acceptance does not depend on my recognition what my function is, for I do not yet understand forgiveness, yet I will trust that in the light I will see it as it is. Let this help me learn what forgiveness means. Let me not separate my function from my will. I will not use this for an alien purpose. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. My forgiveness is the means by which the light of the world finds expression through me. My forgiveness is the means by which I become aware of the light of the world in me. My forgiveness is the means by which the world is healed together with myself. Let me then forgive the world that it may be healed along with me. Let peace extend from my mind to yours. I share the light of the world with you. Through my forgiveness, I can see this as it is. Let me not forget my function. I would not forget my function because I would remember myself. I cannot fulfill my function if I forget it, and unless I fulfill my function, I will not experience the joy that God intends for me. Let me not use this to hide my function from me. I would use this as an opportunity to fulfill my function. This may threaten me as my ego, but cannot change my function in any way. My only function is the one that God gave me. I have no function but the one that God gave me. This recognition releases me from all conflict because it means I cannot have conflicting goals. With one purpose only, I am always certain what to do, what to say, and what to think. All doubt must disappear as I acknowledge that my only function is the one that God gave me. My perception of this that I am seeing does not change my function. This does not give me a function other than the one that God gave me. Let me not use this to justify a function that God did not give me. My happiness and my function are one. All things that come from God are one. They come from oneness and must be perceived as one. Fulfilling my function is my happiness because both come from the same source, and I must learn to recognize what makes me happy if I would find happiness. This thing that I thought for just that moment cannot separate my happiness from my function. The oneness of my happiness and my function remains wholly unaffected by anything that I see or do. Nothing, including this, can justify the illusion of happiness apart from my function. Love created me like itself. I am in the likeness of my Creator. I cannot suffer, I cannot experience loss, and I cannot die. I am not a body. I would recognize my reality today. I will worship no idols, nor raise my own self-concept to replace my true self. I am in the likeness of my Creator. Love created me like itself. Let me not see an illusion of myself in this. As I look on this, let me remember my Creator. My Creator did not create what I am thinking in my mind at this time, and I want to see the truth in me. Love holds no grievances. Grievances are completely alien to love. Grievances attack love and keep its light obscure. If I hold grievances, I am attacking love and therefore attacking myself. Myself thus becomes alien to me. I'm determined not to attack myself today so that I can remember who I really am. There is no justification for denying myself. I will not use this to attack love. Let this not tempt me to attack myself. My grievance hides the light of the world in me. My grievance shows me what is not there and hides from me what I want to see. Recognizing this, what do I want my grievances for? They keep me in darkness and hide the light. Grievances and light cannot go together, but light and vision must join for me to see. To see, I must lay my grievances aside. I want to see, and this will be the means by which I'll succeed. Let me not use this as a block to sight. The light of the world will shine all this away. I have no need for this. I want to see. My salvation comes from me. Today, I will recognize where my salvation is. It is in me because its source is there. It has not left its source, and so it cannot have left my mind. I will not look for it outside of myself today. It is not found outside and then brought in, but from within me it will reach beyond, and everything I see will but reflect the light that shines in me and in itself. Let this not tempt me to look away from me for my salvation. I will not let this interfere with my awareness of the source of my salvation. This has no power to remove salvation from me. Only God's plan for salvation will work. It is senseless for me to search wildly about for salvation. I have seen it in many people and in many things, but when I reached for it, it was not there. I was mistaken about where it is. I was mistaken about what it is. I will undertake no more idle seeking. Only God's plan for salvation will work, and I will rejoice because his plan can never fail. God's plan for salvation will save me from my perception of what I'm thinking and seeing now. This is no exception in God's plan for my salvation. Let me perceive this only in the light of God's plan for my salvation. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Holding grievances is an attempt to prove that God's plan for salvation will not work, yet only his plan will work. By holding grievances, I'm therefore excluding my only hope of salvation from my awareness. I would no longer defeat my own best interests in this insane way. I would accept God's plan for salvation and be happy. I am choosing between misperception and salvation as I look on this. If I see grounds for grievances in this, I will not see the grounds for my salvation. This calls for salvation and not attack. I will there be light. I will use the power of my will today. It is not my will to grope about in darkness, fearful of shadows and afraid of things unseen and unreal. Light shall be my guide today. I will follow it where it leads me, and I will look only on what it shows me. This day I will experience the peace of true perception. Anything that I see or look on or pretend to be cannot hide the light that I will see today. Everything will stand ready to show me who I really am. There is no will but God's. I am safe today because there is no will but God's. I can become afraid only when I believe there is another will. I try to attack only when I am afraid, and only when I try to attack can I believe that my eternal safety is threatened. Today, I will recognize that all this has actually not occurred at all. I am safe because there is no will but God's. Let me perceive everything that I see in accordance with the will of God, and I will know in the certainty of eternal life that I will always be as perfectly as I was created. The light has come. In choosing salvation rather than attack, I merely choose to recognize what is already there. Salvation is a decision made already. Attack and grievances are not there to choose. That is why I always choose between truth and illusion, between what is there and what is not. The light has come. I can but choose the light, for it has no alternative. It has replaced the darkness, and the darkness has gone. This cannot show me darkness, for the light has come. The light that I now see all around me is what I have always longed to see, as this journey into pain and death ends at last. I am under no laws but God's. Here is the perfect statement of my freedom. I am under no laws but God's. I am constantly tempted to make up other laws and give them power over me. I suffer only because of my belief in them. They have no real effect on me at all. I am perfectly free of the effects of all laws save God's, and His are the laws of freedom. My perception now shows me that I believe in laws that do not exist. I see only the laws of God at work in this. Let me allow God's laws to work in this and not my own. I am entitled to miracles. I am entitled to miracles because I am under no laws but God's. His laws release me from all grievances and replace them with miracles. And I would accept the miracles in place of the grievances, which are but illusions that hide the miracles beyond. Now I would accept only what the laws of God entitle me to have, and I may use it on behalf of the function that He has given me. Let me look behind all of the dark forms that I see and behold the miracle that I am entitled to. Let me not hold any grievances in anything that I see. Let miracles replace all grievances. By this idea do I unite my will with the Holy Spirit's and perceive them as one. By this idea do I accept my release from hell. By this idea do I express my willingness to have all my illusions be replaced with truth according to God's plan for my salvation. I would make no exceptions and no substitutes. I want all of heaven and only heaven as God wills me to have. And I will not let any of the grievances that I previously held in my mind to affect me now. I will release them all in the recognition that I am perfect and whole as I was created. Let's spend just a little time together now reviewing the 90s and the 100s in the meditation of I am as God created me. Miracles are seen in light. I cannot see in darkness, so I need to let the light of holiness and truth light up my mind and let me see the innocence within. Miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. I see through strength the gift of God to me. My weakness is the dark His gift dispels by giving me His strength to take its place. Light and joy and peace abide in me. I am the home of light and joy and peace. I welcome them into the home I share with God because I am a part of Him. I am as God created me. I will remain forever as I was, created by the changeless like Himself, and I am one with Him as He is with me. I am one self, united with my Creator. Serenity and perfect peace are mine, because I am one self, completely whole, at one with all creation and with God. Salvation comes from my one self, from my one self whose knowledge still remains within my mind. I see God's perfect plan for my salvation perfectly fulfilled. I am spirit. I am the Son of God. No body can contain my spirit, nor impose on me a limitation God created not. I will accept my part in God's plan for salvation. What can my function be but to accept the Word of God, who has created me for what I am and will forever be? Salvation is my only function here. My function here is to forgive the world for all the errors I have made, for thus am I released from them with all the world. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. I am essential to the plan of God for the salvation of the world, for he gave me his plan that I might save the world. God's will for me is perfect happiness. God's will is perfect happiness for me, and I can suffer but from the belief there is another will apart from his. I share God's will for happiness for me. I share my Father's will for me, his Son. What he has given me is all I want. What he has given me is all that there is. God, being love, is also happiness. Let me remember that love is happiness, and nothing else brings joy, and so I choose to entertain no substitutes for love. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Love is my heritage, and with it joy. These are the gifts my Father gave to me. I would accept all that is mine in truth. God's peace and joy are mine. Today I'll accept God's peace and joy in glad exchange for all the substitutes that I have made for happiness and for peace. Let me be still and listen to the truth. Let my own feeble voice be still, and let me hear the mighty voice for truth itself, assuring me that I am God's perfect Son. Truth will correct all errors in my mind. I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. I am God's Son, whose self rests safely in the mind of God. To give and to receive are one in truth. I will forgive all things today, that I may learn how to accept the truth in me and come to recognize my sinlessness. I rest in God. I rest in God today, and let him work in me and through me while I rest in him in quiet and in perfect certainty. I am as God created me. I am God's Son. Today I lay aside all sick illusions of myself and let my Father tell me who I really am.